I'm locking the office door when I hear the elevator. It's 11:47 p.m. on New Year's Eve, and this building should be empty. The cleaning crew finished hours ago. The partners are all at some charity gala downtown, clinking champagne glasses and pretending they care about underprivileged youth. And I'm here, because someone has to process the Vitale case documents before the filing deadline, and that someone is always me. The elevator dings. My hand freezes on the doorknob. The 42nd floor is executive territory, just 3 law offices and a conference room. There's no reason for anyone to be up here. Security requires key card access after 10 p.m., unless they have executive clearance. Footsteps echo in the marble hallway. Dress shoes, confident pace, male. I recognize the gait pattern before I see him. It's a skill you develop when you work in a law firm where the wrong partner in the wrong mood can ruin your entire week. But these footsteps are unfamiliar. I turn slowly, my keys still clutched in my hand like the world's most pathetic weapon. The hallway lights are motion-activated, clicking on section by section as he approaches. First, I see his shoes. Italian leather, expensive. Then his suit, charcoal gray, perfectly tailored. Then his face, and my breath completely stops. He's not handsome in the conventional sense. His features are too sharp for that, too severe. Dark eyes that look black in this lighting. Strong jaw shadowed with stubble that suggests he's been awake as long as I have. Dark hair slightly disheveled, like he's run his hands through it recently. There's a scar, thin and pale, cutting through his left eyebrow. But it's not his appearance that makes my pulse spike. It's the way he looks at me, like he's been searching for something, and I'm either exactly what he needs or exactly what's in his way. I can't tell which. Miss Quinn. His voice is low, controlled. American accent, but something else underneath. Italian, maybe. The way he says my name makes it sound like he's known it for longer than the 3 seconds he's been standing in front of me. I'm sorry. Do I know you? I keep my tone professional, neutral. Inside, every alarm bell is screaming. How does he know my name? Why is he here? And why is he looking at me like that? Not yet. He stops 3 feet away, close enough to be intimate, far enough to not be threatening. It's a calculated distance. I'm Salvatore Ferretti. The name means nothing to me for about 2 seconds. Then my legal training kicks in, and my brain makes connections it probably shouldn't. Ferretti, I've seen that name. Recently, in the acquisition paperwork that came through last week, the paperwork I filed away because Mr. Holbrook told me it was above my pay grade to worry about. Ferretti Capital Group acquired our firm, which means the man standing in front of me is now, technically, my boss. Mr. Ferretti? I straighten my shoulders, trying to look professional, despite the fact that I'm wearing a cardigan with a coffee stain on the sleeve, and my hair is falling out of its bun. I wasn't expecting anyone tonight. Is there something I can help you with? His lips curve. Not quite a smile, but close. You're still here. Filing deadline tomorrow. I gesture vaguely at my office door. Someone has to make sure the paperwork is perfect. At midnight, on New Year's Eve. At 11:49 p.m., technically. I don't know why I'm correcting him. Probably the same instinct that makes me proofread emails 3 times before sending them. And yes, he studies me for a long moment. I feel evaluated, assessed. It's the same look I imagine art appraisers give paintings they're trying to determine are authentic or forgeries. Do you have plans? He asks finally. The question catches me off guard. Plans? For midnight. I almost laugh. Almost. My plan is to go home, open a bottle of wine, and watch people kiss in Times Square while I eat leftover Chinese food. Why? Because that sounds like a waste. A waste of what? You. The single word hangs in the air between us. I don't know how to respond to that. Is it a compliment? An insult? A statement of fact? With him, it feels like all 3. Mr. Ferretti. Salvatore. He takes a step closer, and now the distance between us feels dangerous. I don't believe in formality after midnight. It's not midnight yet. 11 minutes. His eyes haven't left mine. I have a proposition for you, Miss Quinn. Oh, this is bad. This is very, very bad. I'm not interested in propositions from men I just met in empty office buildings at midnight. I try to keep my voice steady, even if the proposition is professional. Especially then. This time he does smile, and it transforms his entire face. It's not a kind smile. It's the smile of someone who's used to getting what he wants and finds resistance entertaining rather than discouraging. I need a date for a New Year's party, he says, and you're going to say yes. I blink. Excuse me? You heard me. I absolutely did not just hear you tell me I'm going to be your date for a party, because that would be insane, and you don't strike me as an insane person, Mr. Ferretti. Salvatore, he corrects again. And I'm not insane. I'm pragmatic. I need someone who can handle herself in a complicated situation. Someone intelligent, observant, and capable of maintaining composure under pressure. He pauses. You've been working for this firm for 4 years. You have a degree from Columbia Law. You turned down 3 job offers from bigger firms to stay here because you value loyalty over prestige. You live alone in a studio apartment in Astoria. You have no pets, no boyfriend, and according to your calendar, which I absolutely did not hack, I simply have access to all company systems now. You have no plans tonight except deadlines and depression. My face burns. That calendar entry was supposed to be private. And funny. Mostly it was just honest. I don't even know where to start. That's a gross invasion of privacy, for one thing. Agreed, which is why I'm asking rather than demanding. Asking. You said I'm going to say yes. That's not asking. It's asking with confidence. He checks his watch. Also expensive. Gold. Probably costs more than my entire year's salary. 8 minutes now. The party starts at midnight. My driver is downstairs. Say yes, Nora. The sound of my first name in his voice does something to my nervous system that I don't want to analyze. Why me? I ask, because I genuinely don't understand. You acquired a law firm. You could have any of the associates, the partners, their wives, their daughters. I don't want them. His voice drops lower. I want someone who's smart enough to know this is dangerous and brave enough to do it anyway. I never said I was brave. You're still standing here. He's right. I should have walked away the moment he said my name. I should be in the elevator right now, going home, locking my door, and pretending this conversation never happened. But I'm not moving, because there's something about the way he's looking at me, like I'm not just a paralegal he can summon for a party, like I'm a person who might surprise him, like he's giving me a choice that actually matters, and because, if I'm being brutally honest with myself, the alternative is going home to that studio apartment and spending another New Year's alone, wondering if this is what the rest of my life looks like. Work, deadlines, leftover Chinese food, and a carefully maintained calendar that reads, deadlines and depression. 5 minutes, he says softly. What kind of party? The kind where you smile, drink champagne, and don't ask questions about what the men in the room actually do for a living. My stomach drops. You're not talking about a law firm party. No. What are you talking about? He's silent for a moment, weighing something. Then, my family has business interests beyond legitimate acquisitions. You're smart enough to guess what that means. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. You're telling me I'm telling you that I need someone beside me tonight who can play a role, someone who can smile at dangerous men and make them believe you're exactly what you appear to be. He takes another step closer, and now I can smell his cologne, something dark and woody that probably costs more than my rent. Can you do that? Why would I do that? Because I'm offering you $20,000 for 4 hours of your time. I actually choke on my own breath. What? 20,000. Cash. Delivered to your apartment tomorrow. His expression doesn't change. All you have to do is stand beside me, smile when appropriate, and let everyone believe you're mine. Let everyone believe I'm yours, I repeat slowly, trying to process this insanity. Yes. For $20,000. Yes. And this is a real party, not a... I can't even say it. It's a real party. Champagne, music, countdown, completely legitimate. He pauses. The guests are less legitimate. Mafia, I whisper. I prefer family business. His smile is sharp. But yes, I should say no. Every functioning brain cell I have is screaming at me to say no, walk away, go home, and pretend this never happened. This is exactly the kind of situation my mother warned me about. Don't talk to strange men, don't get into cars with people you don't know, don't accept propositions that sound too good to be true. But $20,000, that's 6 months of rent, that's my student loans cut in half, that's breathing room I haven't had since I graduated. And if I'm being completely honest, there's a part of me, a small, reckless part that I usually ignore, that's curious. That wants to know what it feels like to walk into a room on the arm of a man like Salvatore Ferretti. That wants to exist, just for 4 hours, in a world that isn't deadlines and depositions and leftover Chinese food. 3 minutes, he says. If I say yes... My voice sounds distant, like it belongs to someone else. If I say yes, what exactly do you expect? I expect you to wear a dress I'll provide. I expect you to smile, drink champagne, and let me introduce you as my companion for the evening. I expect you to stay close to me, follow my lead, and if anyone asks you questions, defer to me. His eyes hold mine. And I expect you to trust that I will keep you completely safe. I don't know you. No, he agrees. But you're going to. The elevator dings behind us, going down, empty car waiting. Decide, Nora. I look at him, this stranger who knows my name, my history, my private calendar, this man who just casually admitted he's part of a criminal organization and offered me enough money to change my life for 4 hours of pretending. I should say no. I'm going to say yes. I need to change, I hear myself say. His smile is slow, satisfied. Already arranged. Dress is in the car, 2 minutes to midnight. He offers his hand. Shall we? I take it. His hand is warm, calloused. Not the soft hands of a man who only signs paperwork. These are hands that have built things, or broken them. We step into the elevator together, and as the doors close, I catch our reflection in the polished metal. Me in my coffee-stained cardigan and tired bun. Him in his perfect suit with his knowing smile. We look like we're from different worlds. Maybe we are. Maybe that's exactly the point. The elevator descends, and somewhere in the distance, fireworks start early. The car is a black SUV with tinted windows and a driver who doesn't make eye contact. Salvatore opens the back door, and I see the dress immediately, hanging from a hook, wrapped in clear garment plastic. Even through the protective covering, I can tell it's expensive. Deep, emerald green, silk, probably designer. How did you know my size? I ask as I slide into the seat. I'm thorough. He closes the door behind me, walks around to the other side, and settles in beside me. The interior smells like leather and that same dark cologne he's wearing. The driver pulls away from the curb without being told. I stare at the dress. I can't change in here. Privacy screen. Salvatore presses a button, and a dark partition rises between us and the driver. You have 15 minutes. 15 minutes to change into a dress I've never seen, fix my hair, and transform into someone who can walk into a Mafia party on New Year's Eve without looking terrified. No pressure. I need makeup, I say, and shoes, and... He reaches into the seat pocket and pulls out a small black bag. Everything you need. I take the bag, unzip it, and find professional-grade cosmetics, a hairbrush, pins, and a pair of black heels that are definitely my size. You're very thorough, I manage. I don't make plans that fail. I look at him. Really look at him. In the dim car interior, his features are even sharper, more dangerous. Why me? I ask again. Really? He's quiet for a moment, studying me with those dark eyes. Because when I walked into that office and saw you standing there at midnight, still working on someone else's deadline, still loyal to a firm that doesn't value you, he pauses. I saw someone who deserves better. And you're better? No, he says honestly, but I'm different. The car turns onto the FDR drive heading uptown. Through the window, I can see the city glittering. Buildings lit up, people gathering on rooftops and balconies waiting for midnight. I should call someone, I say suddenly. Let them know where I am. Just in case. In case I'm a murderer? In case you're a murderer. He pulls out his phone, unlocks it, and hands it to me. Call whoever you want. Tell them everything. I take the phone, surprised. I scroll through his contacts. There are maybe 20 entries. Names like Marco, the accountant, Judge Stevens. Nothing that screams criminal organization. But there's one contact labeled simply Nonna. Your grandmother? She worries. He says it without embarrassment. Make your call, Nora. I dial my best friend Ashley's number. She answers on the second ring, already drunk. Nora, where are you? Please tell me you left that depressing office. I left the office, I say carefully. Oh, thank God. Are you coming to Melissa's party? Actually, I have a date. The line goes silent. Then, I'm sorry, you what? I have a date. For a New Year's party. I just wanted someone to know. Nora Marie Quinn, you have 3 seconds to tell me everything or I swear to God. His name is Salvatore. We're going to a party uptown. I'll text you when I get home. I pause. If I don't text you by 2 a.m., worry. Nora. Love you. Happy New Year. I hang up before she can interrogate further. Salvatore is watching me with something like amusement. Smooth. She'll only call me back 18 times now instead of 40. I hand him the phone. Can I change now, or are you planning to watch? I'm planning to watch. My face goes hot. Excuse me? The dress has a complicated back closure. You'll need help. His expression doesn't change. Unless you'd prefer to arrive at the party in a cardigan with a coffee stain. He's right, damn him. Turn around, I mutter. I've seen women in various states of undress before, Nora. This isn't going to shock me. Turn. Around. He sighs but complies, shifting to face the window. I pull the dress from its garment bag with shaking hands. It's even more beautiful up close. Silk that feels like water, a neckline that's low but not obscene, a skirt that will probably hit just above my knees. I shimmy out of my work clothes as gracefully as possible in the back of a moving car, trying not to elbow him in the process. The dress slides over my head and oh God, it fits perfectly. Perfectly enough that I'm certain he didn't just guess my measurements, he knew them. How did you know my exact size? I ask, struggling with the zipper. Your firm requires annual insurance physicals. The data is in the company files. That's confidential medical information? Everything is confidential until someone buys the company. He still hasn't turned around. Are you decent? Define decent. Can I help with the zipper now, or are you going to struggle for another 5 minutes while we waste time? I exhale. Fine. Help. He turns, and the way his eyes travel over me makes my skin feel too warm. He doesn't leer. It's not that kind of look. It's appreciative, assessing, and something else I can't name. Turn around, he says quietly. I do. His fingers brush my bare back, and I actually shiver. He's careful, professional, zipping the dress slowly from my lower back to my neck. But there's nothing professional about the way my body responds to his touch, the way every nerve ending suddenly wakes up and pays attention. There. His voice is slightly rougher. Perfetto. I turn back around and now we're close. Closer than we've been since the office. The car feels smaller, warmer. Hair and makeup, I say, trying to break the tension. I need 8 minutes until we arrive. He settles back into his seat, putting calculated distance between us. Do what you can. I grab the makeup bag and flip down the mirror. In the dim car lighting, I work fast. Foundation to even out my exhausted skin tone, concealer for the dark circles, mascara to open up my eyes, lipstick, a deep red that matches the dress somehow. I pull the pins out of my bun and brush through my dark hair until it falls in waves over my shoulders. The transformation takes 6 minutes. When I'm done, I barely recognize myself. Let me see, Salvatore says. I turn toward him, and his reaction is subtle but unmistakable. His jaw tightens, his eyes go darker. You'll do, he says finally. Wow, such a compliment. If I gave you the real compliment, we'd never make it to the party. His tone is light, but there's an edge underneath. And we're already late. The car slows, turns, and I see we're in the Upper East Side, the kind of neighborhood where buildings have doormen and history and price tags that make my student loans look like pocket change. We pull up in front of a brownstone that's lit from within, golden light spilling out of tall windows, shadows of people moving inside, music audible even through the closed car door. My heart starts hammering. Last chance to change your mind, Salvatore says. I can take you home right now. No judgment, no obligation. It's a genuine offer. I can hear it in his voice. And the 20,000? Still yours. Consider it payment for considering. I should take it. I should take the money and run and never see this man again and go back to my safe, boring, predictable life where the most dangerous thing I encounter is a partner's bad mood. But I don't. Instead, I slip on the heels. They fit perfectly, of course, and take a deep breath. Let's go to a party, I say. His smile is sharp and satisfied. One more thing. He reaches into his jacket pocket and pulls out a small velvet box. Oh no, it's not what you think, he says, reading my expression. Open it. I take the box with trembling fingers and open it. Inside is a necklace, delicate gold chain with a small emerald pendant. It's beautiful, understated, exactly the kind of jewelry that someone like me might actually own, except I don't own it. Insurance, Salvatore explains. Everyone at this party will notice what you're wearing. This tells them you're under my protection. Does it? Yes. He takes the necklace from the box. May I? I nod, not trusting my voice. He leans forward and I turn, lifting my hair. His fingers brush my neck as he clasps the necklace, and I feel the weight of it settle against my collarbone. Perfect, he murmurs. The driver opens the door. Salvatore steps out first, then offers me his hand. I take it, and he pulls me out of the car and into the cold night air. Fireworks explode somewhere in the distance. We've missed midnight, but just barely. Ready? He asks. No, not even close. Yes, I lie. His hand moves to the small of my back, and we walk toward the brownstone together. The door opens before we reach it, and I step into a world I was never supposed to see. The first thing I notice is the silence. Not actual silence. There's music playing, low and jazzy, and conversations happening in pockets throughout the room. But there's a silence underneath, a watchfulness. The moment we step through the door, every person in the vicinity turns to look. At me. Salvatore's hand tightens slightly on my back. A silent message. I've got you. The brownstone's interior is stunning. Original hardwood floors, exposed brick, art that's probably worth more than my apartment building. The lighting is warm, intimate, champagne flows. People are dressed in expensive clothes, wearing expensive watches, and I can feel the weight of their evaluation. A man approaches, older, gray-haired, with eyes that miss nothing. He's wearing a suit that probably costs 5 figures. Salvatore. The man speaks with a thick Italian accent. You're late. Unavoidably detained. Salvatore's tone is relaxed, but I feel the tension in his hand. Giovanni, this is Nora Quinn. Nora, Giovanni Ricci. I extend my hand automatically. Mr. Ricci, pleasure to meet you. Giovanni takes my hand, but instead of shaking it, he lifts it to his lips and kisses my knuckles. His eyes stay locked on mine the entire time. The pleasure is mine, Bella. He releases my hand slowly. Salvatore, where have you been hiding this one? I haven't been hiding her. I've been waiting for the right moment. The conversation is coded. I can feel it. They're not really talking about me. They're talking about something else, something I don't understand. She's lovely, Giovanni says, still looking at me. Does she speak? I speak, I say, before Salvatore can answer. I also have a law degree and a fairly extensive vocabulary. Giovanni's eyebrows rise. Then he laughs. A genuine, delighted sound. A law degree. Salvatore? You brought a lawyer to a room full of criminals. How bold. Or how smart. Salvatore's voice is smooth. Everyone needs good legal counsel. Indeed. Giovanni's attention shifts back to me. What kind of law, Miss Quinn? Corporate litigation, contract disputes mostly. The lies flow easier than I expected. Very boring, very corporate. I find nothing boring about contracts. Giovanni smiles. They're the foundation of all business, legitimate or otherwise. Someone calls Giovanni's name from across the room, and he excuses himself with another kiss to my hand. The moment he's gone, I exhale. You did well, Salvatore murmurs near my ear. He's the consigliere. His approval matters. What's a consigliere? Advisor, second in command. His hand hasn't left my back. Come, I need to make introductions. He guides me through the room, and I become acutely aware of every eye on us. Women in designer dresses watch with thinly veiled curiosity. Men assess me with varying degrees of interest and suspicion. Salvatore introduces me to a steady stream of people whose names I immediately forget. Marco, who smells like cigar smoke and asks if I like opera. Francesca, who air kisses both my cheeks and tells me my dress is darling. Antonio, who doesn't shake my hand at all, just nods and looks at Salvatore with something like concern. Who was that? I whisper when we're alone for a moment near the champagne table. My cousin. He thinks I'm making a mistake bringing you here. Is he right? Salvatore hands me a glass of champagne. I don't make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. Not me. He takes a sip of his own champagne, watching the room over the rim of his glass. I make calculated decisions. There's a difference. And I'm a calculated decision? You, he says, looking at me with those impossibly dark eyes, are the most calculated decision I've made in years. Before I can ask what that means, a new voice interrupts. Salvatore Ferretti, I heard rumors you finally found someone who could tolerate you. I turn to see a woman, tall, elegant, probably late 50s, with silver hair styled in an impeccable bob and eyes that look like they know everyone's secrets. Salvatore's entire demeanor shifts. His shoulders relax slightly. His smile becomes genuine. Nonna. He kisses both her cheeks. I didn't know you were coming. I wasn't going to. Then I heard my grandson was bringing a date, and I had to see the miracle for myself. She turns her attention to me, and I feel immediately seen. You must be Nora. Yes, ma'am. It's lovely to meet you. Ma'am, how polite. She takes both my hands in hers, studying my face. You're scared. It's not a question. Yes, I admit, because lying to this woman feels impossible. Good. Fear keeps us smart. She pats my hand. But not too scared. You're still here, which means you're either brave or foolish. I haven't decided which yet, I say honestly. She laughs, a warm, genuine sound that makes several people in the room turn and smile. I like her, Salvatore. Don't ruin this. I don't plan to. You never plan to. It happens anyway. She squeezes my hands once more before releasing them. Come see me before you leave, Cara. I want to hear your version of how this happened. She disappears into the crowd, leaving me slightly dizzy. That's your grandmother, I say unnecessarily. That's Nonna, the only person in this entire building who can tell me what to do. Salvatore drains his champagne. She likes you. How can you tell? She called you Cara. She only does that with family. The word family in this context feels loaded, dangerous. Salvatore. A new voice, male, young, with an edge of urgency. We have a situation. I turn to see a man in his 20s wearing an expensive suit that doesn't quite fit his nervous energy. Salvatore's expression shudders immediately. Marco, not now. It can't wait. Marco's eyes flick to me, then back to Salvatore. 5 minutes, upstairs. Salvatore is quiet for a long moment. Then he looks at me. I need to handle something. Will you be all right here? No. Absolutely not. Yes, I lie. Stay near Nona. Don't talk to anyone you haven't already met. Don't accept drinks from anyone except the bartender. His hand finds my face, tilting my chin up so I'm looking directly at him. I'll be 10 minutes, maximum. What if 10 minutes? He strokes his thumb along my jaw once, a gesture that's probably meant to be reassuring but mostly makes my pulse spike. Trust me. Then he's gone, following Marco up the stairs and leaving me alone in a room full of criminals. Brilliant. I do what any rational person would do in this situation. I find Nonna. She's holding court near the fireplace, surrounded by 3 other older women who all look like they've seen things that would make horror movies seem tame. Nora! Nonna beckons me over. Come, sit, meet the girls. The girls are all in their 60s and 70s. They make room for me on a velvet settee, and suddenly I'm in the middle of an interrogation that would make police detectives jealous. How did you meet? What do? Are you Italian? Does your family know? Have you met his parents? I deflect as best as I can, sticking to the vague truth. We met through work. I'm a paralegal. My family is Irish. We just started seeing each other recently. The women exchange knowing looks. A paralegal, one of them, Lucia, I think, says thoughtfully. That's respectable. Respectable is boring, another woman counters. Tell me, Cara, what do you know about our Salvatore? Not much, I admit. We've only just started. Good. Nonna cuts me off. The less you know, the safer you are. The words hang in the air, heavy with implications. But, Nonna continues, leaning forward slightly, since you're here, you should know some things. Salvatore is a good man in a bad business. He's loyal, honorable, and dangerous when he needs to be. He doesn't bring women to family events, ever. The fact that you're here means something. What does it mean? That he's claiming you. She says it matter-of-factly, like she's commenting on the weather. In our world, bringing a woman to a family gathering is a statement. It says, she's mine, she's protected. Anyone who touches her answers to me. My mouth goes dry. Didn't he tell you? Lucia looks amused. He told me it was a New Year's party, I manage. Oh, it is. Nonna sips her wine. It's also a meeting, a demonstration. Several families are here tonight, and they've all noticed that Salvatore arrived with a beautiful young woman wearing his family's emerald. I touch the necklace reflexively. His family's emerald? That stone belonged to his mother, to my daughter. Nonna's eyes are sharp. He doesn't lend that piece to anyone. Oh God, what have I gotten myself into? I stand up too quickly. I need some air. Through the kitchen, there's a back terrace. Nonna points. But don't go far, Cara, and don't let anyone follow you. I nod, trying to look composed, and make my way through the crowd toward the kitchen. The staff is busy preparing canapés and refilling champagne bottles. None of them look at me as I slip through the back door onto a small stone terrace. The cold air hits me like a slap, and I gasp, gripping the iron railing. What am I doing? I came here for money, $20,000 to play dress-up at a party. I didn't sign up for family emeralds and claiming and being under someone's protection in a world where protection apparently means you might need to be protected from violence. I should call an Uber. I should leave right now, go home, and pretend this never happened. But Salvatore's grandmother has his mother's necklace around my neck, and every person in that building thinks I'm important to a man I met 90 minutes ago. Leaving already? I spin around. The man standing in the doorway isn't Salvatore. He's younger, maybe early 30s, with blonde hair and blue eyes and a smile that doesn't reach his face. He's holding 2 glasses of champagne. No, I say carefully. Just needed air. I don't blame you. These events can be suffocating. He steps onto the terrace, closing the door behind him. I'm Daniel. We haven't been introduced. Nora. I don't take the champagne he's offering. I know who you are. He sets both glasses on the terrace railing. Salvatore's new. What are you exactly? Girlfriend? Associate? Entertainment? The way he says entertainment makes my skin crawl. I'm someone who's about to go back inside. I say, moving toward the door. He doesn't physically block me, but his presence makes me hesitate. You should be careful, Daniel says conversationally, getting involved with the Ferretti family. They have a tendency to burn through women quickly. Thanks for the concern. I'll keep it in mind. I'm serious. He steps closer and I step back, my spine hitting the railing. Salvatore is charming, I'm sure, generous, protective, but do you know what he actually does? The real family business? I know enough. Do you? Daniel's smile sharpens. Did he tell you about the last woman he brought to a family event? How she disappeared 3 months later? How no one talks about her anymore? My heart is pounding now. I think you should let me pass. I think you should listen. His voice drops lower. I'm trying to help you, Nora. You seem nice, smart. You don't belong here. Whatever he promised you, money, protection, excitement, it's not worth... The door slams open. Salvatore appears, and the temperature on the terrace drops about 20 degrees. Daniel. His voice is absolutely flat. Step away from her, now. Daniel raises his hands in mock surrender, but he's smiling. Just making conversation, cousin. By cornering her on a dark terrace after I explicitly told everyone she's off limits? Cousin. The blonde man is his cousin. I wasn't cornering... You were. Salvatore moves between us in one fluid motion, and suddenly I'm behind him, his body a wall between me and Daniel. And now you're leaving, permanently. It's a party, Sal. I'm allowed... You were invited out of courtesy to your father. That courtesy just expired. Salvatore's voice could cut glass. Get out of this house. Don't come back. Daniel's expression hardens. You can't ban me from family events? I just did. Salvatore pulls out his phone, types something quickly. Security will escort you out. If you resist, it gets unpleasant. For a moment, I think Daniel is going to argue. Then two someones appear in the doorway, large men in dark suits. Daniel's jaw tightens. He looks at me one more time. Be careful, Nora Quinn. Then he's being escorted away, and I'm alone with Salvatore on the terrace. He doesn't turn around immediately. His shoulders are tense, his hands clenched. Are you all right? He asks finally, still facing away. I'm fine. He didn't do anything, just... He shouldn't have been near you at all. Salvatore turns, and the look on his face makes me take a step back. Not because I'm afraid of him, because I'm seeing for the first time what he's capable of. The anger there is cold, controlled, and absolutely lethal. I told you to stay near Nonna. I needed air. Then you tell me, and I go with you. His voice is hard. You don't wander off alone in a house full of people who would use you to get to me. I didn't know. That's why I gave you rules. He runs a hand through his hair and I see his control fraying. Daniel was testing boundaries, seeing if he could get close to you. If I hadn't come down when I did. But you did. This time. He closes his eyes briefly. Nora, you need to understand something. The moment you walked into this party with me, you became valuable. Not because of who you are, but because of who I am. There are people here tonight who would hurt you just to prove they could. The weight of that settles over me like a wet blanket. Maybe I should leave, I whisper. No. His eyes open, and they're softer now, but still intense. You leave when I say you can leave, when it's safe. He steps closer, and his hand finds my face again, tilting my chin up. I brought you into this. I'm responsible for you, and I don't take that responsibility lightly. You barely know me. I know enough. His thumb brushes my cheekbone. I know you're brave enough to stand here instead of running. I know you're smart enough to be terrified but composed enough to hide it. I know you deserve better than leftover Chinese food and deadlines. How do you know any of that? Because I've been watching you for 3 weeks. The confession should probably scare me. Instead, it makes everything click into place. 3 weeks, I repeat. Since we started the acquisition paperwork, I review all key personnel files personally. Yours caught my attention. He's still touching my face, and I should probably step back, but I don't. You're overqualified for your position. You stay late, come in early, volunteer for impossible deadlines. You're loyal to people who don't deserve it. That's called having a work ethic. That's called being undervalued. His voice drops. I wanted to meet you, see if you were as interesting as your file suggested. Then I walked into that office tonight and saw you standing there at midnight, still trying to save someone else's case. He trails off. I knew. Knew what? That I was going to ruin you. The words should sound threatening. They don't. They sound like a promise. You haven't ruined me, I manage. Not yet. His smile is slight, sad. But I will, Nora. Being close to me destroys things. It's not intentional, but it's inevitable. Then why did you bring me here? Because I'm selfish. He drops his hand from my face but doesn't step back. And because when I saw you standing in that office, I thought maybe, just maybe, you were strong enough to survive me. The door opens behind us, and Nonna appears. Salvatore, they're ready for the toast. Her eyes move between us, assessing. Is everything all right? Yes. Salvatore's mask slides back into place, charming, composed. We're coming. Nonna nods but doesn't leave. Daniel? Gone. Good. He was always trouble. She looks at me. Are you all right, Kara? Yes, ma'am. Liar. But she's smiling. Come inside. It's almost time. She disappears back into the warmth of the house. Salvatore offers me his hand. Last chance to run. I look at his hand, scarred knuckles, calluses, strength. I take it. I'm not running, I hear myself say. No, he agrees, pulling me closer. You're not. We go back inside together, and I realize somewhere between the office and this terrace, I stopped being a paralegal pretending to be his date. I became something much more dangerous. I became curious about Salvatore Ferretti, and in his world, curiosity is the most dangerous thing of all. The toast happens in the main parlor, where everyone has gathered with fresh champagne glasses. Giovanni Ricci stands near the fireplace, raising his glass. The room falls silent. To another year, he says in his accented English, to family, to loyalty, to the bonds that keep us strong. His eyes scan the room, landing on various faces. And to new alliances. Everyone drinks. Salvatore's hand is on my back again, steady and warm. Now, Giovanni continues, our host would like to say a few words. Salvatore? Oh no. Salvatore steps forward, and I realize everyone is looking at us, at him, at me, at the space between us that his hand still occupies. Thank you all for coming, Salvatore says, and his voice carries through the room effortlessly. Tonight is important for many reasons. We've completed several significant business arrangements this quarter. The Vitale contracts are finalized, the shipping routes are secured, and as of today, Ferretti Capital Group has acquired 3 new legitimate enterprises. Polite applause, but tonight is also personal. His eyes find mine across the small distance. I've spent the last 5 years building this family's legitimate operations, making us untouchable by traditional law enforcement, creating a foundation that will last generations. He pauses. I've done it alone, by choice, because attachments are liabilities. The room is so quiet I can hear my own heartbeat. But sometimes, Salvatore continues, you meet someone who makes you reconsider what you thought was wisdom, someone who reminds you that building empires means nothing if you have no one to share them with. Oh God, he's talking about me, in front of everyone. Nora! He says my name like a summons, and I have no choice but to step forward. His hand finds mine, lacing our fingers together. This is Nora Quinn. She's smart, loyal, and brave enough to walk into a room full of strangers on New Year's Eve because I asked her to. She's under my protection, and anyone who disrespects her disrespects me. It's a claim, a public, undeniable claim. The room erupts in applause, genuine this time, mixed with knowing looks and raised eyebrows. I'm going to kill him. To Salvatore and Nora, Giovanni toasts. To Salvatore and Nora, the room echoes. We drink champagne while I contemplate murder. The moment the toast ends and conversations resume, I pull Salvatore aside into a quiet corner. "What was that?" I hiss. "Protection." "That was a claiming. You just told an entire room full of—" I lower my voice. "Of criminals that I'm yours." "Yes. We met 2 hours ago." "Closer to 3 now." He checks his watch, completely calm. "And it's not about how long we've known each other. It's about making sure everyone here knows you're untouchable." "By claiming me as yours. Would you prefer I claimed you as someone else's?" "I'd prefer you didn't claim me at all." His expression shifts, and I see a flash of something, hurt maybe, or disappointment. "Would you rather I left you vulnerable, let people like Daniel think you're available, unprotected?" "I'd rather you asked me before making public declarations about our relationship status." "Would you have said yes?" "That's not the point." "Actually, that's exactly the point." He steps closer and his voice drops. "You came here tonight knowing what I am. What this world is. Did you think it would be neat and clean and comfortable? Did you think I'd introduce you as my friend and everyone would smile and ignore you?" I thought, what did I think? I thought I was playing a role for 4 hours and collecting a paycheck. "You were. You are." He reaches into his jacket pocket, pulls out an envelope and hands it to me. 20,000 as promised. You fulfilled your end of the bargain. You're free to leave anytime you want." I take the envelope numbly. It's thick, heavy. "But if you stay," Salvatore continues, "you stay as what I claimed you to be. Mine, under my protection, part of my world for however long this lasts." His eyes hold mine. "Your choice, Nora." I look at the envelope in my hands. $20,000, enough to change my immediate circumstances, enough to walk away clean. I look back at Salvatore, this man who bought my law firm, stalked my calendar, showed up at midnight, and somehow convinced me to play dress-up at a Mafia party. This man who called me brave, who gave me his grandmother's necklace, who just publicly claimed me in front of people who could destroy my life. This man who looks at me like I'm not just a paralegal drowning in deadlines. I should take the money and run. "If I stay," I say slowly, "what happens?" "I take you home. Tomorrow we talk. You decide if you want to see me again." "And if I don't?" "Then you keep the money, keep the dress, and we never speak again. You go back to your life, I go back to mine." "And if I do want to see you again?" His smile is slow, dangerous. "Then things get complicated." Someone calls his name from across the room, some business matter that needs attention. "I have to handle something," he says. "Stay or go, Nora, but decide soon." He walks away, leaving me alone with an envelope full of cash and a choice that shouldn't be a choice at all. I should leave. I find Nonna instead. She's back by the fireplace, watching the party with the knowing eyes of someone who's seen variations of this exact scene play out for decades. "You're still here," she observes as I sit beside her. "I'm still here." "Salvatore claimed you publicly tonight. Do you understand what that means?" "That I'm under his protection. That you're his." She says it gently but firmly. In our world, once a man claims a woman in front of the families, it's binding. Breaking that bond is difficult. We barely know each other. My husband claimed me after knowing me for 4 days. We were married for 47 years before he died. She pats my hand. "Time is irrelevant. Recognition is everything." "Recognition?" "When you meet someone and you just know, you recognize them, like you've been waiting for them without realizing it." Her eyes are distant, remembering. "Salvatore has never brought a woman to a family event. Never. Then tonight, he walks in with you wearing Maria's emerald, and he claims you in front of everyone who matters." She looks at me. "That's not a casual decision, Cara." "He barely knows me," I repeat, because it's the only argument I have left. "He knows enough." Nonna stands, smoothing her dress. "You'll stay or you'll go. Either choice is valid, but if you stay, understand what you're choosing. You're not choosing a boyfriend or a fling. You're choosing a life. A complicated, dangerous, beautiful life. She kisses my forehead. Choose wisely. She leaves me there, and I'm alone with my thoughts and an envelope full of money and a necklace that belonged to a dead woman. I should leave. I wait for Salvatore. He finds me 20 minutes later, having shed his jacket somewhere. His sleeves are rolled up, and I can see the edge of a tattoo on his forearm. Something in Italian that I can't read. "You're still here," he says. "I'm still here." "Have you decided?" I stand up, and we're close again, close enough that I can smell his cologne and see the slight shadow of exhaustion under his eyes. "I have questions," I say. "Ask them." "Your cousin said there was another woman, one who disappeared." Salvatore's jaw tightens. "Her name was Elena. She was engaged to my brother. She decided she didn't want this life, and we helped her leave. She's in California now, married to a dentist, completely safe." He pauses. "Daniel told you she disappeared because he wants you scared. He wants you to leave so he can use it against me politically within the family. Is that true? Call her yourself." He pulls out his phone, scrolls through contacts, and shows me a number labeled Elena, California. I have her number. She sends Nonna Christmas cards. I stare at the phone. "You'd let me call her?" "I'd let you do whatever you need to feel safe making this decision." He pockets the phone. "What else? What do you actually do? The real family business?" "Primarily? Import, dock, export with selective memory about customs regulations, construction contracts with favorable union negotiations, waste management with creative accounting." He says it matter-of-factly. "We also provide private security, handle debt collections, and occasionally mediate disputes between parties who can't use legal channels." "That's illegal?" "Most of it exists in gray areas. Some of it is explicitly illegal, yes." "And you're okay with that?" "I was born into this, Nora. I didn't choose it, but I've spent the last decade making us more legitimate, more insulated from prosecution. In 5 years, Ferretti Capital will be completely clean. I'll be the CEO of a legitimate corporation, and the old business will be someone else's problem." He runs a hand through his hair. "But right now, tonight, I'm still the man who runs a criminal organization. If that's a deal-breaker, tell me now. What do you want from me?" The question seems to surprise him. "Want from you?" "You claim me publicly. You give me money. You put your mother's necklace around my neck. What do you want in return?" He's quiet for a long moment. Then, "I want to take you to dinner. I want to learn what makes you laugh. I want to know why someone as smart as you settled for a job where they don't appreciate you. I want to kiss you without interruption. I want to see if this," he gestures between us, "is real or just adrenaline and circumstance." "That's it?" "For now." His smile is slight. "Eventually I'll want more, but we'll negotiate that when we get there." I look at this man, this stranger who somehow feels familiar, this criminal who talks about legitimate business deals and protective claims and negotiations like we're discussing a merger instead of a relationship. "This is insane," I whisper. "Completely. I should leave, take the money, go home, forget this ever happened." "You should," he agrees, "but I'm not going to." His eyes darken. "No?" "No." I take a step closer, emboldened by champagne and adrenaline and the surreal nature of this entire night. "I'm going to stay. I'm going to let you take me home. And tomorrow I'm going to have dinner with you, and we're going to see if this is real." "It's real," he says with absolute certainty. "How do you know?" "Because I've never lied to get a woman to stay before." He reaches for me, his hand cupping my face with a gentleness that contradicts everything else about him. "I've never needed to. But with you, I'd lie. I'd promise anything. That's how I know." He leans in, and I think he's going to kiss me. Instead, he presses his forehead against mine, and we breathe the same air for a long moment. "Let me take you home," he murmurs. "Okay." We say our goodbyes. Nonna hugs me and whispers, "Be careful but not too careful," in my ear. Giovanni shakes my hand and tells Salvatore he's finally shown good judgment. Various other family members nod their approval, or look concerned, or simply watch, with the careful neutrality of people who are reserving judgment. And then we're back in the SUV, driving through Manhattan at 2 a.m., and I'm wearing a dress I didn't own this morning and a necklace that belonged to his mother, and somewhere in my purse is an envelope with $20,000 that I'm not sure I earned or if I should keep. "What are you thinking?" Salvatore asks. "That I'm going to regret this." "Probably." He takes my hand, lacing our fingers together. "But not tonight." The car pulls up in front of my apartment building in Astoria. It looks smaller, shabbier than I remember. My entire life looks smaller now. Salvatore walks me to the door. "I'll pick you up tomorrow at 7, he says. "Dinner." "Where?" "Surprise." He tucks a strand of hair behind my ear. "Wear something comfortable. Not this." He gestures at the dress. "Although you're devastating in this." "Devastating?" "You walked into that party and made every man in the room jealous, and every woman curious. You held your own with Nonna. You didn't flinch when I claimed you publicly." His thumb brushes my jaw. "Devastating." "I was terrified." "I know. That's what made it devastating." He leans in, and this time I think he's really going to kiss me. But he doesn't. Instead, he kisses my forehead. Soft, reverent, like I'm something precious. "Tomorrow," he promises. Then he's gone. Back in the SUV, driving away into the night. I stand in front of my building for a long moment, trying to reconcile the girl who left for work 16 hours ago with the woman standing here now. I unlock my door, walk into my tiny studio apartment, and sit on my bed still wearing the emerald dress and his mother's necklace. I pull out my phone and text Ashley, "I'm home, I'm safe, I'll tell you everything tomorrow." Her response is immediate. "Nora Marie Quinn. You better call me right now, but I don't call her." Instead, I open the envelope Salvatore gave me. $20,000 in hundreds, neatly bundled, and a note, in masculine handwriting, "For the bravest woman I've ever met. You earned this." I read the note 3 times. Then I carefully put the money away, take off the dress, but leave the necklace on. And when I finally fall asleep at 4 a.m., I dream of dark eyes and dangerous promises, and the way it felt when he pressed his forehead against mine and said, "It's real." Tomorrow, I'll have dinner with a man I barely know. Tomorrow, I'll probably come to my senses. But tonight I'm still wearing his mother's emerald, and that feels like choice enough.